Hello, everybody. Heidi Fish and Brian Fish here with you, and we are super excited to be with you. This is going to be a really special call, one that we're really excited about. This call, we're really going to talk about 90-day game plan strategy, but really something that Heidi and I kind of stumbled upon to really make our business fun. And it's kind of been the first thing that we really latched on to really be active in our business. It all stemmed from the Welcome Home Challenge. We're going to tell our story about previous 90-day game plans, about what just happened with the Welcome Home Challenge, and what our plan is going to be going forward into the 90-day game plan that's going to follow NYKO. We're totally pumped about NYKO. It's a launching pad event for this business, and we want to hit the ground running the day we come back from Dallas. So I'm going to let Heidi take it over from here, and let's get into it.
All right, so first of all, we just wanted to kind of go over what happened or what tends to happen to us and a lot of other people during a 90-day game plan. You go to these big kickoff events, you get super excited, you're all pumped up, you go home, you take 2 weeks of action, life happens, and all of a sudden the 90 days is over and you didn't make your goal. I was someone that always tried to set realistic goals, and then I really beat myself up when I didn't meet them, or if you have these stretch goals, then they just feel so far away that you can't achieve them. So we really wanted to figure out a way for this next 90-day game plan to just stay in action the whole 90 days and figure out a way to keep us moving in our business, but also to have fun. We've found that when we don't have fun, our business really is stagnant. It's really important to keep this enjoyable so that you can keep fitting it in the pockets of your life. So our inspiration for the next 90-day game plan definitely came from the Welcome Home Challenge, and I'll let Brian explain what we kind of did during the Welcome Home Challenge.
So for those of you who don't know, the Welcome Home Challenge was a incentive that Isagenix put on to win a trip to Phoenix to tour the brand new headquarters that were built and just opened, and we get to go to Jim and Kathy Coover's house to tour. We get to go to the ranch where John Anderson has his lab, and it just seemed like a really cool prize, and it was announced before November 1st, and basically there was a point system that points were earned between November 1st and the end of the year. Anybody achieving 70 points would basically win the trip. So when this incentive was announced, Heidi and I said, this is something that we should go after. So the very first thing we did was we put together a spreadsheet of all of the potential points we could earn in our business in every category that the incentive had laid out. And we wrote down all the potentials, all the possibilities, all the things that we could possibly do to earn points. And when we added it all up, it was like 260 points, and you need 70 to earn the incentive. So we said, let's go after this. I think this is something that we can do. So that was our intention, and we set it out, and we physically saw on our computer screen how we could make it happen. So then the incentive started November 1st, and we were plugging away, we were prospecting, we were being intentional about earning points in different categories, and on December 19th, we were at 16 points. So from December 19th to December 31st, we had to go from 16 to 70. And we just kept telling ourselves that we're going to do it. We're going to make it happen. We had laid out the game plan well ahead of time. We knew where our points were going to potentially come from because we had laid that all out. And we just kept our noses down. We just kept going after it. And because we had that fun injected into what we were doing, we really went after that 70. And on Sunday, December 27th, we were at 28 points. So now we're looking at 4 more days left in the month, and we have to go from 28 to 70. And we still said, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And the next day we were at 44. And the next day we were at 58. So with 2 days left, we had to go from 58 to 70. Then we went to 67. And then on the very last day, we got 6 more points and got to 73. So it was a real measure in what is possible when you set your mind to it, and if you stay positive about the intention of actually making it happen. So it was a huge lesson for us that we learned that making this business into a game and going after points was really fun for us, and it really led to kind of a breakthrough in our business, that we can make things happen when we kind of have a game plan laid out to play this board game that we've invented for this Welcome Home Challenge. That then became the genesis of what we would do, what we are going to do in our business going forward. Heidi's going to kind of lay out now how we're going to take that experience from Welcome Home and move it forward.
So one other thing I want to add about the Welcome Home Challenge is that not only did it show us that if we have a plan in place and we lay it out from the beginning, that anything's kind of possible, but it also just really reinforced for me how important it is to keep a positive mindset and never give up. Like, I don't think we've ever, continued to work that hard near the end of a challenge. Like, we could have easily on the 19th or the 27th said, we're too far away, we're never going to do it, and just, kicked it in. But we didn't. We kept going and pushing the whole time, and we told people that we were running for it, and we really put that intention out there, and so we really saw the power of doing that. So then we were trying to think of how we could make the 90-day game plan into a similar type game. So we decided to use the Welcome Home points, which is points for rank advancement from consultant through executive, points for star advancements, points for enrollments, and points for ISABODY. So we took that and we're like, well, we feel like we need to expand it to include some other really important business building activities. So we still have the rank advancements, the enrollments, and ISABODY, but we also added in points for getting people to events, because that's a huge way to grow your business, getting butts and chairs. And then that, is going to push us to actually really work to get people there because we want the points. And then we also did a category called business building activities. So we're going to give ourselves a point for, and I'll post all these points later, but we get a point for each week that we do 10 personal Facebook posts, we get a point. That, really forces you to be intentional all week long with your Facebook posts. You can't wait until Sunday night and then put 10 posts out there. It's going to look silly. There's Sunday night training calls, depending on which business group you're in. We're giving ourselves a point for being on those. And we're giving ourselves a point for listening to at least 2 podcasts in a week. So once we had set out all of these, and we're also doing points for hosting launch parties, and also points for bringing guests to other people's launch parties. So it really is focusing on all the activities that are really going to help our business grow. So then what we did, just like the Welcome Home Challenge, we went through every single point category, and we're like, we looked way down into our downline. That's the other thing that we're doing differently. Instead of for a lot of the rank advancements being just personally enrolled, we're going, for our entire downline. So we set out a max number of points. Based on all these points that we think we can get over a 90-day period, there's 569 points. And then we said, okay, based on what we did for the Welcome Home Challenge, what do we think is a stretch goal, but still something that we can achieve if we're really in action that whole 90 days. So we set ourselves a goal of 250 points for the 90 days. So one other thing that Brian and I did, because our whole intention for 2016 is to play and create, and we really like coloring and doing creative things, is that, coloring books are really in right now, and we found a mandala coloring page that had pretty much the exact number of spaces that we needed. So as we're going along this 90 days, we have different colors for the different categories, and we can color in our picture as we go. So then it's this daily excitement, like, we get to color in our page. That's not something that may be motivating for everybody, but for us, that definitely injects the fun into it. So that's kind of our plan for the 90-day game plan. I don't know if you think I'm missing anything.
Yeah, so one big key component is reward. Mm-hmm. So our 250 points we feel like is going to be tough for us to get, something that we're really going to have to be driving hard for this whole 90 days. And to have that carrot out there to keep going after it, you have to have a reward. And we really believe that everybody's reward needs to be unique to themselves. So Heidi and I, a very important reward for us that is going to keep us motivated is that if we achieve our goal of 250 points for our challenge that we designed for ourselves, we are going to extend a Spokane trip into a longer trip, either going to San Francisco or Coeur d'Alene, with both of us for an extended amount of time to latch on to one of those trips. And for us, that's a big deal and something that would be really fun and important to us and something that is going to keep us motivated. What we recommend is that everybody comes up with their own special reward for achieving your own point value goal that makes most sense for you. Something that's going to be a stretch, but something that you can probably make happen with really intentional activity for the full 90-day game plan.
So if you're helping people on your team set goals, if you're working with someone on your team, one of the things we're planning on doing is we want our team to set their own goal, their own reward. Obviously, it needs to be something that they feel like, financially, time-wise, that they can commit to, and then we'll see what we can do to help contribute to that. So then it's started by them, and based on their color and their love language, they're picking something that's really going to be motivating for them, rather than us saying, okay, we're going to do this reward or that reward, when that may not really motivate them. So we want our team to come up with their own reward. So I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I hope you'll really have open minds and open hearts going into the 90-day game plan, and know that if you find something like this that works for you, maybe this doesn't work for you at all, and there's some other way that works, to kind of keep you going through that 90 days. But I just encourage you to find what works for you, find that system, and make sure that it's fun with reward at the end. So
one of the reasons why we are taking this approach is because in the past, the goal might be something like hit 2-star at the end of the 90-day game plan. For us, that's too general and too, not all encompassing. And what this point system does is it helps you keep rewarding yourself as you go with these mini victories to get you to your goal. So it's all about the activity instead of like a destination. So it's focusing on journey instead of destination, which is just such a huge difference maker. So, that's kind of what we're so excited about going into. And, I encourage everybody to have a little bit of a strategy game plan mindset before even going to NYKO, or if you're not going to NYKO, make your strategy, set a start date, set an end date to your 90-day game plan, and then really go after it.
And make sure you're communicating that goal to someone else, even if you don't feel like you have upline or downline or whatever it may be. There's so many great people in all these business groups. You can find someone, to help hold you accountable. And, when we were getting close to hitting it, we started telling everyone, like, this is how many points we need. This is how many points we need. Because the more you put out in the universe and tell people your intentions, then there's more people rooting for you, and all that energy is being, poured back into you. So make sure if you're, kind of doing this on your own, that you find someone to partner with over the 90-day game plan and root you on. So.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for taking the time to listen in or watch this, whatever way you're tuning in, and have a wonderful day. And let's rock this 90-day game plan.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.